So the first card is having self-belief and taking responsibility for your actions. So you need to act with confidence and know that you can do the job. You don't have to be worried that anybody is going to tell you can't, because you know that you can do it. So a need to have some self-belief. And there's divine timing that is at play at the moment. So if anything is going on, make sure that you're waiting. Just have a little bit of patience, because everything happens when it needs to happen. And if you're facing a difficult situation, you do need to defend yourself. So there is a need for you to defend yourself. Stand up for yourself. Have some self-belief. Stand up for yourself, and know that your actions, you've been doing things you've been going down the right road, and you are doing things according to divine inspiration or divine help. So, you defend yourself. Don't let anybody walk all over you. In the past, you needed to be positive. So any kind of negative feelings, you need to get rid of it, and a need for accepting help. So if you needed help, you needed to ask for it. So don't be too afraid to ask for help. There is no shame in asking for help when you need it. So going into the future, you've got some stress and deadlines. You might be working to some deadlines, and that's going to obviously cause a little bit of chaos and a little bit of stress. But whatever you're doing, it looks like it's going to pay off pretty well, or it's going to be very successful, because you've got happiness and satisfaction after doing something well. Okay, so those are the energies for those 2 weeks. Okay, so you've got the Two of Swords over here, and this is talking about making a decision, or needing to make a decision pretty soon. Maybe there's some pressure for you to make some decision, because you've got the wolf walking in there in the background over here, and you're holding back. You can't seem to decide what to do next. It could be something very legal. It could be something very official that you're having to make a decision about. And, maybe you feel like you haven't got all the facts. You need to be very, very logical when you make this decision, but you have to make it pretty soon. So you're in that state of dilemma at the moment and trying to decide. You're looking to the future to find, you're trying to see what the outcome is going to be. So you're trying to anticipate what the outcome is, because she's looking to the future. But you do need to make this decision. You might need to make a pros and cons list and to make your decision. Try not to be emotional when you're trying to decide. So it could be a legal decision. It could be something official. But it needs to be made from a very logical standpoint of view. And like I said, you're under pressure to make it at this particular moment. So in what's been going on around you, there's something that's happened. There was a disappointment. You've got the Five of Cups, and maybe something didn't work out, and you're pretty upset about it, because you've got the Five of Cups over here. You're crying about it. Maybe you invested a lot of time and effort into that project, because you've got these cups that have spilt blood. So it looks like, you've put blood, sweat, and tears into this particular project, and it didn't pan out like how you wanted it to, and you're very, very upset about the whole thing. You're almost like in mourning, because this person's wearing this black cloak. And, you've withdrawn from the world. You're just very, very upset about it. You've got the Page of Swords over here. So something happened, and it involved, there's some kind of legality that is being involved. So there was something that maybe you sought legal advice, or you needed to do something legal, or you're waiting for some kind of, there was a legal outcome to whatever happened, and you're waiting for news for that. So some news about that is coming in. So something has happened, and you're waiting for that news to come in, or that news is about to come in. So that kind of information is coming in, and you're having to make a decision as soon as that information comes in, or you're making a decision with regards to that legal information. And it was not good news that came in, because you're obviously very unhappy, and you've got that Five of Cups, which is, a rather negative card. So whatever news that came in was not good. This is also rushing into fights or battles that, you didn't need to. So whatever this information is, maybe this is why you're hanging back and not making that decision, because rushing into it is not going to produce a favorable outcome. So there could have been somebody around you as well that has been causing or stirring up problems, a snitch rather, and somebody who has been carrying tales or been saying things that were nasty, stirring up problems as well, acting very childishly. So you could well be dealing with that kind of person as well, or that kind of personality So in the past year, you've been dealing with a lot of problems. You've got the Strength card over here, and this is trying to sort out issues around you, that were a bit toxic. And you've been dealing with all these problems and trying to, you've been asking for some guidance and help. And for the most part, you've been sorting out all these problems, but you have been dealing with difficult situations. In those last few months, you've got the Eight of Cups over here. Now, you are very disappointed at whatever's happened or whatever you've been dealing with. Maybe you feel like it's not really worth your while. And with this Eight of Cups is trying to leave things. Maybe things are not working out. You've got this cup lying on the altar. You've been making a lot of sacrifices for this job and still things are not working out. So you've got this Fallen cup over here. Maybe something one thing worked out and the other thing didn't. And you want to leave it and walk away from it. So you're not happy in this particular job that you're doing. Maybe things are not working out the way you want to, and you really want to leave it and move on to something else. And now that this, this disappointment, something that had happened, some incident happened, and there might be some legal consequences to it, maybe this is making you even more determined to leave. So you're hoping that the Wheel of Fortune comes in. You're hoping that things change positively for you. So this is what's on your mind. And you do feel like you're dealing with very toxic people or toxic situations. You also feel as though not all the facts have been revealed to you. You're being kept in the dark about certain things. Maybe this is why you want the Wheel of Fortune to come in so that you can move on. And you really do want to make that move because you've got the Fool card coming in over here. So leaving something that's established and jumping into something brand new. You've got the new moon over here. And this is, the sun, it's like an established work. But it seems like you want to take your things and move and start off something and you don't really care. The decision might be a bit too rash. It might be too quick. You might need to think about it very carefully before you take that leap of faith. The Fool is not always advising to take a leap of faith and move. It says, you have that idea that you want to make that move, but it's also important for you to consider all the consequences because the Fool can also end up in a lot of problems. This is, especially if there's no planning in place. The Fool card is the card ruled by Uranus, and Uranus makes really big jumps, and causes a lot of devastation, and sometimes it's for naught. So if you want to take this leap of faith, you really do have to think about the consequences and make good, proper plans before jumping into something without thinking about it, because that could, in itself, could end up in a disaster. Now you've got the Seven of Swords over here, and this is how you're feeling. You're feeling very betrayed by people around you. You feel as like I say, you do feel like you want to just pack your things and leave. You feel like everybody around you is very aggressive. You're not able to express yourself. They're stirring up trouble or problems and you're not able to sort it out. And you just want to pick your things up, turn your back and walk away from it. And you feel like the situation is not a friendly situation to be in. And, you're feeling probably very victimized, very unhappy, and very deceived, as though you've been let down. So around you, there is somebody there that you should go and ask for some advice from. And this is the King of Cups. And, it could be a water sign person, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or it's just somebody that's very, very paternal, or somebody who's very, very supportive, and somebody who will understand you from an emotional point of view. And this might be somebody that you need to actually go and have a conversation with and find out what to do next, before jumping off into things. Because, this card is sitting next to the Fool card. So before you make this leap of faith and leave everything and, dissolve everything, it's important to go and speak to this person. This could also be somebody outside of your working environment. This could be maybe a father figure outside, or it could be a doctor or some kind of counselor, but you need to speak to somebody before making any big decisions or before, dropping everything and running off. You are feeling very tied up, you're feeling very bullied, you're feeling very negative about the situation as well. And, you feel like you're making a lot of sacrifices and working a lot. And, it's a very toxic situation that you're dealing with at the moment. So you are feeling very unhappy right now. So going into the future, you've got the Three of Cups, the Emperor, and the Nine of Swords. Now, the Three of Cups is showing that there are people around you that are supportive of you. you know, although this is the celebration card of victory having, achieved. So maybe whatever this legal outcome is going to be quite victorious for you. If you make that decision, you will be very, very happy having made that decision, whatever this legal matter is that you're waiting to resolve. But also this is showing that there are people around you that are very, very supportive, and you just need to look around to have that support. So you're not being left alone. You're not in the cold. You do have people around you that are on your page, are on your side. You've got the Nine of Swords over here. Oh, sorry, the Emperor was the next card. So, you might feel as though you might be dealing with a fire sign person here with the Emperor card, or you might be dealing with somebody that is, very authoritarian. Somebody who doesn't really listen to whatever you've got to say, and is not very emotional, a little bit of a bully, who's not prepared to listen to anything. They just want things to be done, and get sorted out. Now, the Emperor card could also be talking about dealing with the legal situation. So, since it's following this Three of Cups, whatever the legal decision that is going to come out is going to be pretty positive, because you've got the Three of Cups. So a celebration of whatever that legal outcome is if you're dealing with that kind of situation. So like I said, you could be dealing with somebody that is very, very, they're not very emotional about the whole thing, and they're very, very much in authority, and, they take control of that situation. But also, if this is that legal outcome, it could be a very positive outcome from that from a legal standpoint of view. Now, you're still very, very anxious about what is being going on. You've got the Nine of Swords over here. So you are worried about what this legal outcome is going to be, but it looks like it's going to be in your favor. So maybe this worry is really not. This is you thinking about the worst case scenario and praying a lot, and being very anxious and not sleeping well at night, and not feeling very supported, and feeling as though there's no communication going on over there. Everything is a bit confused over here, but this is all mental energy, it seems, with this Nine of Swords. So and you're also feeling as though everybody's against you. But this is not the case, because with this Three of Cups, it looks like there are people that are there to support you. And it looks like whatever that legal outcome is going to be, this is unnecessary worry. It's going to be successful. It's going to be a good outcome. So I'm going to just draw some cards from the Think and Grow Rich Prosperity cards. And this is for inspiration. And then you've got the Fairy Tarot for the Oracle read. Okay, so you've got energy, and life is energy, if anything. If neither energy nor matter can be destroyed, and of course life cannot be destroyed. Now this is saying that you need to focus your energies, focus your thoughts, make them positive, and focus them on the goals that you have. So try not to be distracted by any of your negative thoughts. You need to make it positive and focus that energy and set your goals. So focusing your energy on your goals will help you achieve independence, and that is very, very important. So you need to make sure that you have a goal in place, you focus your energy, and this will allow you to achieve your independence. It will allow you to progress, and it will allow you to prosper. So from the Fairy Tarot, you've got the Star card, which means that you're being divinely guided. You're being assisted in this particular problem that you're going through. Look to the future with hope and optimism. So whatever negative thoughts you have, you've got to get rid of them. And the power of faith to move mountains, happy changes that bring relief from challenging situations. So whatever is going on with you is going to be very positive, and you are going to have a positive outcome, but you need to think positively and be optimistic. Make positive affirmations, say that it is all going to work out, and it will work out. You say to yourself, this too shall pass. If you're going to a difficult situation, you say to yourself, this too shall pass. Make that your mantra, and that is a positive affirmation, and things will move on. Now, you've got the Moon card over here, which says positive intuitive epiphanies. So you are having some visions or dreams that are coming through for you, and this is the divine guidance from the star. So you need to keep a dream diary, or be be aware of what's coming through in your dreams. Let go of worry and fear and understanding the truth of the situation. So you are being very anxious. You are very worried because the last card is the Nine of Winter, which is an anxiety card as well. Unfounded fear, focusing on the worst case scenarios and allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the problem. So you are very worried about what the outcome of the situation is going to be, but you needn't be. These are unfounded fears. It seems like you are being guided and you are being aided, and it will be a positive outcome from the situation. So whatever legalities you're dealing with, whatever problems you're dealing with, you have both the Nine of Winter and the Nine of Swords of here, being very, very upset. You might be blowing it out of proportion because the moon is here, and the moon tends to make things look bigger, or monsters bigger than they should be. So know that whatever is going on is going to work out in your favor. There is going to be a positive outcome from it. So right now, don't worry so much and don't be so afraid, and think positively, have positive affirmations, and things will work out in your favor.